The basis of an overwhelming amount of people suffering is based upon their flawed way of approaching life and approaching their goals. It's important to understand that if you want to build your body, build your business, make your first million, buy the house of your dreams, get the life you always wanted, whatever your goals are, it's important to understand that if you approach life like normal people do, with their normal assumptions and their normal dreams, through secular education that often does not assist people in ways in which it can't, if you fall into the trap of people assuming things and then working hard, then you will get the results of the people who are just very similar to other people. What does that mean? It's important to understand that ultra success is uncommon success. And because it is not common, the path that is associated with it is not common either. If you're struggling to get more clients, if you're struggling to make more profits in your business, the basis of struggles in the lives of so many people is based on the following. They see that they do not know something and they try to respond to that not knowing with working hard, without understanding the simple format in which life has to be approached. If you do not know, the problem is your ignorance, and the solution to your ignorance is not blindly working hard or assuming hard work will just do the job. The answer to your not knowing is knowing. The answer to your ignorance is knowledge. The answer to you being in a position where you do not know what to do is a simple way. It's a way of learning first what to do before going into action mode. Really, it's very important you understand that. This applies in marketing, this applies in sales, this applies in bodybuilding, this applies in generating a business that is going to support your dreams and the life you always wanted. If the problem is you not knowing, the problem has to be treated with the opposite of it, you knowing. So if you do not know how to make more money and someone tells you, man, just go work hard, you're going to just do all right, it's important to understand that if you have been given half advice, that can cause far more damage to you than no advice. So in order for you to truly change your life, approach your not knowing by first knowing, and do not be impulsive and hasty in going ahead and starting actions that you do not know how to manage. Many people, they struggle to build an email list. Many people, they struggle to build a profitable business. Many people, they are having a very hard time registering people in their businesses, and they do not know what they have to do. They're always chasing clients. It's important to understand that if you chase every bee, you're going to live a life filled with problems. Really. You will have many problems. But if you make a garden, you sustain it, and you're not hasty with that garden, you know that the fruits in it will come. You know that the bees in it will come. You know flowers producing wonderful scents will spring eventually. And you have good hopes of all of this. But you prepare. You build a garden. You plant the seeds. You're patient, disciplined, educated, and optimistic as well, with all the framework that we have discussed earlier. When you do this, the right people will be attracted to you based on your personal development and organized, informed, educated actions. And this is the way. So if you're struggling and you realize that the basis of your struggle is your not knowing, do not just join the rest of the people who themselves don't know what they're doing. So some of the people will tell you that, you know what, if you want to get rich, save money and work hard and eventually you will be rich. It's important for you to realize that the modern secular education system has been engineered to produce workers. So that typical middle class conventional wisdom of getting a degree and then getting a job. Look, for some people, as long as it is connected to their purpose, that's fine. But a lot of people are going to colleges merely to make money. If you go to college to make money and you're getting all the skill set, perhaps a skill set that you do not like, of engineering or whatever, to make money, why don't you start with precision and discipline, learn directly about money? It's important to understand that. So if you spend 5 to 7 years to become a specialized engineer, what will happen if you spend 5 to 7 years learning about money, organizing your mind, realizing how money functions, and disciplining yourself to know when to save and when to invest. If you spend 5 to 7 years studying engineering, you become an engineer. What do you think will happen if you spend 5 to 7 years truly understanding money, investing it properly, realizing what it means to be an expert entrepreneur, realizing the mechanisms used for sales, for advertising and marketing campaigns? If you spend 5 to 7 years understanding how money functions, just how if you study engineering for 5 to 7 years, you can become an engineer. If you study money for 5 to 7 years, you can be a millionaire. It's important to understand that. And this word actually does not sit well with many people, and it's okay, because it's true that many people can be rich, but not everybody will be rich, because it takes a very special way of living and discipline and educating yourself to get rich, really. And educating yourself is only one part of it. You need courage, you need discipline. You have to be very comfortable with rejection. You have to be very comfortable with loneliness. You have to be very comfortable with people saying no and discouragement to a dream that you can clearly see. And when I say lonely, I don't mean you isolate yourself and you become some lonely freak of a kind. No, it means that sometimes you really have to walk on a journey alone when the people around you simply are discouraged, mediocre human beings who themselves have decided to not pursue anything, and they are freaks who love safety. Just how your lungs require oxygen, they require safety nets always, like a little baby that is on his precious little bicycle, and he needs those two little small wheels on each side just to make sure that he doesn't fall off. It's important to realize that if you avoid risk, you also avoid rewards associated with those risks. And again, it's important to realize that you have to be disciplined and balanced in understanding that. I'm not advising anybody to go blindly start taking risks. But what I am teaching you here is that without risks, there often isn't a story, really. You have to learn to manage risk. You have to learn to remove your ignorance, not by blind, assumed, misinformed hard work, but by calculated, truthful, scientific knowledge that can help you change your life. Okay? And this has to do with you approaching life to do your part with a good character, with pure intentions. And after that, you trust Allah. And during the journey, you trust Allah. You make dua. You make istikhara. You stay on the right course. You ask Allah for strength. It's important to understand all of this. Many people will come to you and they will give you an advice with a lot of confidence about things they themselves do not understand properly. Okay? And if you take advice from people who do not know what they're talking about, you are inviting astronomical levels of suffering in your life. I'm telling you that, right? So make sure that when you are getting on a journey and you are becoming firm on a course of action, you are doing it with knowledge, and you're doing it with heavy investing in your personal development and in introspection, and really seeing through why you have chosen what you have chosen. If you think like this, you have a very good chance of realizing many of the traps that often are only realized when people break their legs and fall into them. Do not just believe everybody trying to throw an advice your way, saying things that look like they're cute and nice, but they are coming from people who are cowards. They avoid risk because they're losers. They are ignorant human beings. They never had the courage, so now they spend their lives discouraging other people to pursue their dreams. Again, it's important to realize that you have to be balanced in understanding this. This does not mean that you go and foolishly think that you are being brave when you're just being naive. There's a difference between foolish risk and calculated risk that is approached with informed opinions and truthful knowledge. Think about this, be firm, and do things the right way with knowledge, and do not jump right away on action when the first requirement is knowledge.